often think about how fitting it is that the internet arrived right at the turn of the new millennium, Y2K. It just aesthetically makes sense. For the first time in human history, women had full rights and autonomy. Men were left in a confused space as pop feminists fixated on toxic masculinity and reveled in their new power. Birth control is easier to access than ever. These are monumental changes in how our species functions, interacts, and procreates. As constricted as our gender roles were, I don't think we anticipated how daunting it would be to carve out entirely new ones. The new atheist movement and the decline in religious affiliation left many lacking in purpose, meaning, and structure. Regardless of what is true, religion has always played a critical role in mass social cohesion and assuaging the existential dread. Every society, every human civilization, every society has come up with some kind of deity, some kind of, what we would call religion for millennia. I've been reading a lot of Carl Jung, trying to conquer my pathologies by embracing the collective unconscious, embracing the uncertainty, the ambiguity. I used to pride myself on being an empiricist, insert Stefan Molyneux impersonation.
But I'm an empiricist.
But I'm an empiricist! Niche reference. I always had a complex about being able to articulate and justify my beliefs. I was an obnoxious militant, vegan, atheist, anarcha-feminist for much of my teens and 20s. I loved to debate, and I was obsessed with knowing what is true, what is correct. And I was an anxious kid, so I spent a lot of time alone reading and writing, trying to develop a coherent worldview. Like, truly, that was my mission. An odd kid. But eventually you hit an axiom and it just never really satisfies. My current thoughts are that humans just can't access the ultimate truth. The age of certainty and the logic of physics and math ended with quantum entanglement. I don't know if my experiences with God and spirituality are manifestations of mental illness, or if I'm connecting to something real and something, well, not quite tangible, but something like that. And I almost don't even care. I believe it's beneficial to carry on with prayer, hope, and faith that this is all for something bigger. I was never a spiritual person. I recall debating at a clinician while I was in rehab about the usefulness/necessity of spiritual practice. I just didn't get it until I had an extreme spiritual experience while I was withdrawing from fentanyl, DIY on a friend's couch. Don't recommend. But I, by the grace of God, was saved. I'm aging. Millennials are aging, and it looks very different than the lives of our parents and grandparents. A lot of us have stupid tattoos, we don't have careers, we have gigs, we don't own, we rent, we don't have families or houses, and we shoulder that shame and lack of explanation as to why our lives went so differently. But that's something for the historians to explain. I have my ideas I laid out earlier, how we got to this point. A lot of people have just become so strange. Internet poisoning, irony poisoning, sincerity aversion, isolation. People feel hopeless. It took a miracle for me to find hope, but I think there is a secular way. You have to identify your highest value and live by it relentlessly. Live with honor and integrity in all things you do. Be honest, in the end, it's relationships that matter the most. When I was more of like an ideologue, I really was invested in changing people's opinions and persuading them, to see this like the real truth, to see the harms that are being done in society so we can advocate, for less suffering and more happiness and more thriving and well-being. But once I let go of that need to persuade others, I just let my heart and curiosity lead. I don't know where they're taking me, but I try to just savor the positive moments, all the privilege and blessings I have in my life. Sure, it's brutal, starting from scratch, basically in my mid-30s, but there are many worse conditions I could have been born into. Although I have hope that I can make a happy life for myself, I don't have much hope for the species. We were already cooked by the internet and social media. We're no match for AI. Even if it doesn't go evil and kill us all, we might just die from the convenience and state of obsolescence, decadent despair. It's just an odd time to be alive. Actually, I think it's always an odd time to be alive. The fact that I or you exist at all It's just intrinsically strange to me. But I need to go get ready for work. I haven't written anything in a while, so I've been writing. Well, I haven't posted anything that I've written. I've been writing in my diaries and stuff. So anyway, drop a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm interviewing iVixie, so stay tuned for that. Yeah.